Hello friends, we are discussing about environmental pollution. In the previous session, we have seen primary pollutants and secondary pollutants to cause air pollution. So, under primary pollutants, we have seen mainly oxides of carbon, nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, hydrocarbons, and particulate matter. We have discussed in detail about the physical properties and sources of and effects of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. Today in this video, let us concentrate on oxides of nitrogen, sulfur oxides, hydrocarbons and particulate matter. Now let us see oxides of nitrogen as a primary air pollutant. Oxides of nitrogen mainly includes nitrogen monoxide and nitrogen dioxide. So nitric oxide NO, nitrogen monoxide or nitric oxide and also in the form of nitrogen dioxide. Nitrogen dioxide. Nitric oxide is a colorless and odorless gas. Nitrogen dioxide is a reddish brown, pungent smelling gas. Reddish brown and irritating or pungent smelling gas. It has irritating odor. Whereas nitrogen monoxide is colorless and it has no odorless. Both are gaseous substance. Sources includes mainly motor vehicle exhausts, burning of fossil fuels, lightning and other source such as acid manufacture, explosive industry. So motor vehicle exhaust, it emits a quantitative number of nitrogen oxides because fuel contains nitrogen or nitrogenous compounds. As a result, on burning it produces oxides of nitrogen. Then burning of fossil fuels, fossil fuels. It is also produced due to lightning and in acid manufacture industry and explosive industry. Nitrogen is converted into nitric oxide during all the manufacturing process or during burning process. Free nitrogen is converted into nitric oxide, or this nitric oxide on further oxidation yields nitrogen dioxides. Now these are the main two oxides of nitrogen. Now it causes air pollution in the form of oxides of nitrogen. Now let us see what are the effects of these oxides of nitrogen in the environment, or how it causes air pollution. Mainly these gases combine with atmosphere constituents to form acid rain. Acid rain leads to skin disorders and monument damages. Nitric oxides or nitrogen dioxide. Okay. Now these impurities or these gaseous substance, it combines with rain. It contains water. During raining, the fumes of these compounds, it is converted into acids. Mainly it forms HNO3, nitric acid. Aqueous nitric acid is formed. So this nitric acid can cause skin disorders and it can cause damage to the monuments since it is being highly acidic impurity. Now here gaseous oxides undergoes reaction with water and it yields nitric acid. It dissolves in water and it forms nitric acid. It can also can cause other health disorders. It can cause cough and respiratory infections. Respiratory infections. Respiratory infections. And it can cause eye irritations, eye irritation, etc. In the presence of sunlight, nitrogen oxides and hydrocarbons form smoke. So, in the presence of sunlight, in the presence of sunlight, in the presence of sunlight, nitrogen oxides, monoxide or dioxide, etc., and hydrocarbons, and it results to form a smoke combination of gaseous substance with a hydrocarbon, which limits the visibility of road. It can cause damage in the form of poor visibility, and it can cause eye irritation and difficulty in breathing, leading to asthma and bronchitis. Now these are the effects of nitrogen oxides. It can lead to breathing difficulties, mainly breathing difficulties. Now let us see how we can control the oxides of nitrogen. So various methods are followed to reduce oxides of nitrogen during or after combustion. Actually, nitric oxides are mainly formed because of the oxidation of nitrogen to yield nitric oxide and nitrogen monoxide to give nitrogen dioxide. So during the process of combustion or after combustion, so we have to follow certain methods to form the oxides of nitrogen. We can use low oxides of nitrogen burners, where the gaseous nitrogen produced is reduced to nitrogen without oxygen. So low oxides of nitrogen burners, where gaseous nitrogen produced is reduced to nitrogen without oxygen. So oxides of nitrogen can be converted into free nitrogen, that is the possibility, and plus oxygen, oxides of nitrogen. Then oxides of nitrogen generated are treated with the flue gases using the system like selective catalytic reduction process. Now here all oxides are removed in the form of nitrogen, all oxide to remove in the form of free nitrogen. Then here of course we use vanadium or tungsten catalyst. So we call it as catalytic conversion. Now this is about nitrogen oxides of nitrogen as a primary pollutant. Mainly it present in the form of nitric oxide and nitrogen dioxide. Sources mainly motor vehicle exhaust, burning of fossil fuels, lightning and acid manufacturing industries. So nitrogen incomplete combustion leads to nitric oxide, and on complete combustion it gives nitrogen dioxide. Effects, it can lead to acid rain, and it can cause cough and respiratory infections, eye infections, and this acid rain can cause skin disorders and cause damage to the monuments. In the presence of sunlight, this nitrogen oxides and hydrocarbon form smoke, and that helps leads to asthma or breathing difficulties. Control, we can control the formation of oxides of nitrogen, or before or after. Once it is formed, it can be converted into free nitrogen by using the process of catalytic conversion. Next, let us see oxides of sulfur as a primary pollutant. So, sulfur mainly in the form of sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Both are referred as oxides of sulfur. Sulfur dioxide is a colorless gas with sharp odor that accounts for about 18% of all air pollution. So it is a colorless gas with sharp odor. The sources of sulfur oxides. Sources includes chemical industries, metal meltings. Sources, it is produced in chemical industries, then metal processing or metal melting process, where the sulfur content is oxidized to give sulfur dioxides or sulfur trioxides. It is also produced in paper mills, it containing sulfur. On burning, it produces oxides. Even in oil refineries, considerable amount of sulfur is produced. Then sulfuric acid plant and thermal power plants Now these are all the sources of sulfur oxides. So sulfur is oxidized to sulfur dioxide. This sulfur dioxide formed further oxidized in the influence of sunlight to give sulfur trioxide in the presence of sunlight. It gives sulfur trioxide. Now let us see what are the effects of this sulfur oxides. Effects. Sulfur dioxide reacts with moisture in eyes, then lungs and mucous membranes to form strong irritating acid. So sulfur oxides forms strong irritating acid. When comes into contact with eyes, lungs and mucous membranes, and it can trigger allergic reactions. Allergic reactions are triggered, hence it can trigger asthma. Then sulfur oxides combines with atmosphere constituents to form acid rain. So a sulfur oxide combines with the water and it mainly forms sulfuric acid, H2SO4. So it leads to acid rain, just like nitric oxides. This sulfur also forms sulfuric acid, leads to acid rain. So it can cause skin disorders and monument damages and corrosion of metals. So corrosion of metals and monuments and skin disorders. It can damage plants, cells and membranes, mainly chlorophyll. It can damages plant cells, membranes and mainly chlorophyll, the green pigment that is present in case of plants. Now let us see how we can control the air pollutants sulfur oxides. So control measure includes Sulfur in coal, actually coal presents sulfur in both inorganic and organic forms. So largest amount of sulfur is removed by crushing and washing the coal before combustion method. So in the initial stage itself, sulfur has to be removed by crushing and washing the coal. Then removal of sulfur trioxide from flue gas. We can make use of the process called adsorption. By the process of adsorption, we can remove sulfur trioxide gas from flue gases. And we can also use adsorption process to absorb sulfur dioxide using adsorbate like sodium aluminate. Sodium aluminate is the adsorbate to form stable sulfates in fluidized bed. And now this reaction, adsorption of sulfur dioxide and a suitable adsorbent sodium aluminate, it forms suitable stable sulfates that we can write sodium oxide Al2O3, sodium aluminate. So it is absorbed by sulfur dioxide, and sulfur dioxide is absorbed, and then half H2, half O2, it gives sodium sulfate Na2SO4 plus aluminum sulfide. So adsorbing sulfur dioxide from flue gases on activated carbon. So adsorption, adsorbing sulfur dioxide from flue gases. From the mixture of gases, sulfur dioxide can be adsorbed using activated charcoal, using activated carbon, that also the method. So using clean sulfur free nuclear power to generate electricity. So sulfur free nuclear power, then switching to natural gas from conventional high sulfur fuels like coal and petroleum. Now these are the measures to control the primary pollutant in the form of sulfur dioxide or sulfur trioxide. So oxides of sulfur. Mainly sulfur initially gives sulfur dioxide, it is colorless gas. It can oxidize to give sulfur trioxide. Main sources from chemical industries, metal melting, paper mills, oil refining process, sulfuric acid plants, thermal power plants. So sulfur is oxidized to sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide is further oxidized to sulfur trioxide. Effects mainly, these oxides can cause strong irritating acid when it comes into contact with eyes or mucous membrane or with the lungs. It can show allergy reactions and can trigger asthma. Sulfur oxides on rain, it gives acid rain, and that acid rain can cause damage to the monuments, and it can cause corrosion to the metals, and it can cause damages to plant cells and membranes as well as chlorophyll. Mainly control measures includes the coal, the sulfur present in coal both in inorganic and organic form has to be monitored, or it has to be removed by crushing and washing. And removal of sulfur trioxide from flue gases by using adsorbent like sodium aluminate. So here we have the reaction, here sodium aluminate used to remove sulfur dioxide, it is converted to sodium sulfate and aluminum sulfide. And adsorbing sulfur dioxide using activated carbon, also the measure to control the presence of this primary pollutant sulfur oxides. Now let us see the primary air pollutant hydrocarbon. Now these hydrocarbons are the organic compounds mainly containing hydrogen and carbon. Example, we have benzene C6H6 carbon and hydrogen compound. Similarly, we have tetramethyl lead. It is the anti-knocking agent, tetramethyl lead or tetraethyl lead, added to petrol in order to increase the anti-knocking property. So here also it contains carbon and hydrogen. The sources includes natural anaerobic decomposition of plants and animals. Anaerobic decomposition in the absence of oxygen. For example, organic matter, plants and animals, it contains carbon, then hydrogen and oxygen compound. Organic matter, plants and animals. So anaerobic decomposition to yield carbon dioxide, then methane gas CH4. So this methane is produced. It is the hydrocarbon impurity, or it is hydrocarbon primary pollutant that is released into the environment because of the decomposition of plants and animals. Similarly, it is formed by the incomplete burning of automobile fuels, petrol, refineries, rubber factories, etc. For example, octane, that is C8H18 octane fuel, by the oxidation of octane, it yields carbon dioxide plus water, and it produces heat energy. So here also it gives carbon dioxide, then water and heat. So this octane fuel, and it burns in the presence of oxygen to give this much carbon dioxide. It is released into the environment and heat energy as well. So octane and oxygen, octane and this oxygen. So methane is a naturally occurring hydrocarbon. It is emitted into the atmosphere in large quantities. Methane, it is a naturally occurring substance. Now it is being gaseous, and it contains only one carbon atom, and it's very light compared to ethane, propane, butane, pentane. Therefore it directly emitted into the atmosphere in large quantities, and it is also produced by the bacteria through anaerobic decomposition of organic matter. So huge amount of this methane also produced, and the effects of this hydrocarbon includes eye and respiratory irritation. So irritation to eyes, then respiratory system. It destroys vegetarian, and aromatic hydrocarbons are carcinogenic. Aromatic, that is benzene, aromatic hydrocarbon C6H6. Now these are carcinogenic. It can induce mutation. As a result, it can cause cancer. So carcinogenic. There also form photochemical smog. These hydrocarbons forms photochemical fog, photochemical smog. Now it is the chemical reaction of sunlight, nitrogen oxides and volatile organic compounds in the atmosphere. Photochemical smog, hydrocarbons plus nitrogen oxides plus volatile organic compounds, nitrogen oxides, in the presence of sunlight, and it creates smog. Hydrocarbons and oxides of nitrogen in the presence of sunlight. Methane and benzene reacts, and it can have narcotic effect in human beings. Then control measures of this hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbons from auto exhaust can be controlled by process such as incineration or adsorption process. We can make use of adsorption process to adsorb all the gases, and also we can make use of the process of absorption as well as absorption based on the density of these gaseous hydrocarbons and number of carbon atom based on the length, etc. we can subject into adsorption process or absorption process. That is how we can control. Now this is about hydrocarbon, mainly in the form of benzene or tetramethyl lead or tetraethyl lead. Sources mainly natural anaerobic decomposition of plants and animals. It mainly yields methane, and also incomplete burning of automobile fuels, and naturally huge amount of methane is released in the environment, and it is also produced by the bacterial decomposition, in the presence of decomposition in the presence of bacteria. Affects mainly irritation to eyes and respiratory system, and organic aromatic hydrocarbons are carcinogenic in nature, and it combines with the oxides of nitrogen in the presence of sunlight to give the photochemical smoke, and it can be controlled by the method of adsorption and absorption process. This is about the primary pollutants. In the next session, let us see the primary pollutant in the form of a particulate matter. Thank you.